Good morning everybody, my name's Hugh. I'm here at the wonderful Berthon shipyard on a bright autumn morning. We are going to go and have a look at this Trader 42 here. She's called BIASHARA. She was built in 2008. I'm going to try and do this in a oneer, which I don't think has ever been done. So we'll give it a go and see how it works out. So here we are, BIASHARA. So she's a 2008 Trader 42. She's a big semi-displacement 42-foot cruising yacht. She was built by Trader Motor Yachts in China. She is built of GRP with white hull with this beautiful blue gel-coated hull band on her. Let's go and have a look at the profile. So a decent deep V in the forefoot, and then that gives you a lot more volume at the aft end as it runs flat. Nice decent deep V with 3 spray rails. There's a bow thruster tunnel inset, then you've got a major chine just to keep the spray down. And then up here we've got a self-launching anchor, really nice style stripes. That's your anchor up there with windlass controls up on the deck and also at the main helm. So very, very efficient hull here, keeps the spray down. And yeah, the bow thruster is just set in here. She was out in May 2024 for new anti-fouling anodes, etc. And the great thing about these boats is she has a superb gate underway and also a superb aft cabin arrangement. So she's twin shaft drive. She's a pair of 380 horse Cummins. They're the QSB 5.9 litre models. So she's good to cruise at 16 to 18 knots, tops out around about that, but a really, really comfortable cruising boat. Stuff happening inside this propeller here. So just having a look at her side gates, which fold down here for ease of boarding. You've got great grab rails right the way around her, and a really, really quality, sensible amount of stainless steel. So full depth keel on her protects the propellers and the rudders. We'll go and have a look here. So the props here, four bladers set into these 2 tunnels here, just to give you a little less depth. Got anodes renewed, Lenco trim tabs either side with little hydraulic pistons just to keep trim underway. Plenty of stainless steel on her. Really great area aft here inside, which is given to the aft ensuite. So that's her side profile, so full depth keel, then really easy access through into the deck and into the main saloon through the door there onto the side deck. And as said, massive attention to detail, really nice stainless steel here. So you've got these 2 lights that give light and air into the aft cabin. The other side, so to the port side, we've got ones that give light and air into the ensuite heads. So we'll head up straight onto her bathing platform. The immediate thing you've got here is this large double opening port, which gives plenty of light and air in there. So it's on hinges. She's called BIASHARA. She was originally registered in Guernsey here, and that is the main carcassing up to the aft cockpit. So laid to teak here with a pair of snap davits either side for ease of storing your dinghy on board. And then a pair of standoff bars up here. You've got plenty of space on this bathing platform. Locker underneath there for storage. Then we've got shore power going in on the port side and an oddments locker there. She's in beautiful condition. And the scale of the teak is vast. So loads of light going in through that hatch. And then being built by Trader, everything is massively over spec. So the polishing on this stainless here, absolutely first class. And that's the standoff bar for your tender. So you've got this really great rail leading right the way down with a pair of cleats at the bottom, all very highly polished, and deck courtesy lights throughout. So your little hot and cold deck shower is set aft here. This just shows, yeah, Tarquin boat. She is the 42, molded 2007 to a 2008 model year. massive deck gear all over her. So where your aft bits are, you've got really nice rollers. to guide them in, and again, beautifully polished out details on her handrails, which are incredibly solid. You've got a transom gate that shuts here, so super dog friendly and kid friendly also. We'll just have a look around the aft cockpit area. So it's all laid to teak with this big double seat at the aft with a life raft underneath. The table is hinged in half at the moment, so you've got 3 cup holders there and a neat little grab rail. Just massive amount of stainless here, so real easy for berthing, very easy to handle all of your lines going ashore. You've got this really nice bimini. The bimini actually zips forward onto the aft end of this section here, and you've got drop down sides, so you can just protect the aft seating area or close this off as the wheelhouse. So radar up here, you've got a Glomex antenna, more aerials just set up here, pair of horns, and then you've got the CME, which is a radar enhancer here, and also just a little globe here and an ensign mast. So more storage lockers here, and underneath the co-pilot seat to the port is a little fridge. So we've got a couple of steps down onto the side decks. All self-draining, so plenty of cleats here. Again, super solid rails up to just above my hip bone. So really super safe with this deep bulwark as well. Opening side rails, so you pull it back, flick it back over onto itself, and that opens up, and then there's a drop down step for boarding port and starboard. Really neat system. They started doing this with their earlier models, and then you've got a nice pantographing door which gives access through into the main saloon. Just a short step up and you're onto this foredeck. It's a very flat area on top of the cabin roof. We've got inlets set into the deck for water down here, and then up towards the bows we've got access into storage lockers for fenders, port and starboard. Masses of deck gear again. Up down windlass controls out here for this big Lumar electric windlass. And then starboard side you've got your deck wash in and a little bit of storage, and then on the same on the port side, and we've just got a couple of fenders in here and some lines again for storage. Nice self-launching anchor there, keeps everything neatly out of the way off the deck. It's a really great deck to work. Completely flat. Looking off, we've got little grab rails, port and starboard, super flat. You've got this lovely wrap-round front with mesh screens to let plenty of light into the dinette area. And then you've got air going into your forward cabin there. So plenty of light coming in through these 2 hatches into the main saloon. They've got little blinds underneath them which you can open up, and then 2 enormous bonded windows on this side. So loads of light coming in through here. Ventilation grills for engine access. And pantographing wipers either side on each screen. So really decent handrails running right the way off, and you've got this lovely protected helm position. So built by Trader, these are just superb semi-displacement motor yachts. If you need to drop this, then you've got a hinge on the radar arch. It's pretty good, big, chunky stuff. And then it allows you to have this beautiful protected helm position. So little fridge up here for keeping yourself sustained underway. The navigator's area over to port with a nice big white clean nav seat. And then 2 helm and co-pilot seats over to starboard. So both bolstered, both adjustable, nice footrest here. You've got vent for heat out there. VHF just set aft. And then we've got main throttle controls. That's a demister vent for the front screens, which we'll have a look at. You've got Lenco trim tabs. You've got a nice neutral and central handrest here for these Cummins throttles. Brilliant system, really easy to use underway, and she's very docile. So we've got a bow thruster and throttles, doesn't need anything else. Just down here we've got stereo, which is piped through. Chain counter, you've got your main switch gear here for lights, horn, etc. bow thruster, and then a Raymarine autopilot head for keeping her on course underway. Really superb sea manners on here. So all the instrumentation is via this SmartCraft setup here, so all on the gauges, showing 750 engine hours, an adjustable steering wheel here. So you can just flick it left and right, and again, masses and masses of stainless steel. So these boats are really popular with ex-sailors. So we've got a wind instrument here, super useful actually for when you're berthing her, just so you can see where the wind's coming from. A Raymarine tri-data on top of that, giving you depth and speed and log information. And then you've got a C120 main 12-inch plotter screen here, which is obviously linked up to the radar up on top. And we've got a chart area here, so a proper paper chart in there, and your steering compass. Plenty of room here, plenty of air coming out, so you can demist that screen there. And then we've got little mesh covers on the main canvas tent, which was all done by Elite Covers in the last couple of years. So all of this can fold down to make this a complete cabriolet area. You've got this really neat throttle control here with that little handrest on it. So everything adjustable. It's a brilliant helming position. It's extremely commanding. We've got a sliding door across there, and we'll go and have a look down in her main accommodation now. So the first thing you see in here is a huge amount of light coming in. I've got the blinds down and the mesh on to just protect the woodwork, but you've got your main electric panels all in there to port, so your main breakers, etc. And then we've got panels set into the floor, and also this really nice raised plinth to give you excellent sight lines out of this big dinette area. The main table here has a drawer underneath it, and also slides back and forth on a little diagonal runner. And then you've got another beautiful level of finish on the tabletop. So all done out in beautiful cherry antique. Plenty of light coming in, clock and barometer, and then we've got more light coming in through these skylights with these concertina blinds, port and starboard. And you've got natural ventilation through that door. And then a really nice galley area here. So 2-burner hob, it's all been remodeled. So the Corian here has got a deeper fiddle than standard. This was done just a few years ago. Got a big double fronted isotherm fridge and freezer in stainless steel. Masses and masses of light coming in through these windows here. And we've got loads of storage right the way throughout. We've got a Wi-Fi router in here, which connects to the onboard heaters. So you've got electric towel radiators and radiators, so you can start your heating when you leave home and it's completely silent. So we'll head down. Here's one of the radiators here, just to the port side of the main companionway. So Wi-Fi controlled, electric, no smell, absolutely no noise, and you can set it off as you're leaving home to make sure your boat is nice and toasty warm. 3 steps down and you're into this vestibule area. So aft to port, we've got engine room with a massive storage locker there onto the starboard side. Then we've got a big dress door here. We'll just move that back. Beautifully finished. Trader do such a good job with their timber selection here. And we've got your main day heads and access into your forward ensuite. You've got a big separate shower with teak grating, obviously a pump in there to get rid of the water, and your light up in there. Then moving over here, we've got plenty of mirrors. You've got a really nice Corian worktop with inset bowl and mixer tap. Again, loads and loads of storage. Got a light overhead here, and plenty of locker storage underneath the sink and in these side cupboards here. So your head is set on a plinth here. It's an electric one with the control panel here, which goes back down into a holding tank, and then you've got a heater outlet as well, and an electric radiator there should you need it. A little bit about BIASHARA and her starts, and of course a nice blind and an opening port light. So this is again Wi-Fi controlled, so super efficient. So into the forward cabin, you've got a main double bed. It's raised beautifully up. Storage underneath it, and it's really nicely trimmed. That's your isolator for your bow thruster battery. That's another one of the electric radiators which are Wi-Fi controlled. Plenty of storage all the way through this boat, and all of it is finished to this kind of level and is in clinically clean condition, as I hope this video is showing. So we've got lights in each cupboard, just on off like that, so when you close the door it shuts, and then cedar lined in here with a hanging rail and louvers in the main door, so all your clothes stay nice and fresh. Again, another vent down here, and of course your electric radiator. Inverter in here as well, so you've got inverted sockets and main sockets, and plenty of lighting options, including natural light from the sides and above, and stores underneath the forward berth. And we've got another hanging locker over to starboard, again with an on-off switch in there. So behind these doors we have, just in front of the companionway coming down with those lights, just to show you that. Oh, get rid of that phone call. In this locker here we have a sober washing machine, so it takes its main feed off the freshwater tank in the engine room with a little light there that pops on and off. It's really super neat and efficient. More storage above it in that locker, and we'll go down and have a look in this here engine bay. So we'll walk down here. We've got an enormous locker on starboard with bilge pump running forwards, and masses of storage area that goes right out to the side of the hull there. Then we've got your fuel cut-offs for generator and engines. Those are your blanking boards for the air vents, and we have this beautiful big dogged watertight door. So getting back in here, all white painted out. We've got a pair of QSB 5.9 litre Cummins. These have been immaculately serviced. We've got fuel tanks, port and starboard outside of them, with sight gauges, which I'll show you in a little bit more detail. And on towards the forward end, we've got generator with the generator fuel bowl just in there, just delivering clean fuel in there, and a nice silenced water trap there, and more hosing. And these are Grocos. These are the ultimate in raw water filtration. So you've got a big basket underneath with a cartridge in it, and then that feeds water into the raw water side of these engines. So 5.9 litre 6-cylinder QSBs, oil filters are on the front. We've got full service history on her, big alternators pumping out charge. And then these are handed, so you've got dipsticks on the inside line of each, so really easy to check on a daily checking. These are your heat exchangers, and these were fully removed and refurbished in the last couple of years. That's your turbo back there, and we'll just have a look at the air filter. And then we've got gearboxes running aft, and then we've got main shaft drives underneath here. These have got new PSS seals in there. The engine's had new injectors changed to boot. So really beautifully maintained, and they are in corking good order. So inverter charger over there, then we've got a fuel and water separator for each engine, control boxes, you've got a big C-Fire automatic fire suppression system in here, and your main engine exhausts just coiling up there. Fuel system coming out of those tanks and leading aft. As we move towards the front, this is your sight tube in here. You've also got the takeoff for the water for the washing machine, which is that hose coming in here, and then fully pressed up with fuel, port and starboard. Those are your sight gauges there. So that's pretty much the engine room. We've got this really nice pinboard insulation on here. Plenty of lighting right the way around, and these hatches can be removed should you need to get access from the top. And then we've got bilge pumping arrangement just at the forward end. Really easy to get to. It's a superb engine bay. All really nicely white painted out, so easy to see any leaks and any problems. So we'll walk aft here, and I'll show you, just as we go past the companionway, the main sort of electricery on board. So heater controls here and your internal stereo. You've got generator controls, on-off and ignitions. This shows that she is A rated for 6 people on board, B rated for 12. So she is a category A ocean capable boat. So incredibly good sea boat, very, very strong. Main isolators down here and all of your electricity for lighting maintained, and then your 230 volts coming in on this side. There's your generator control and main selector switch, etc. It's really nicely laid out. It's all typical trader, massively overbuilt. Great lighting options concealed in here. We've got those big blinds, and then moving back into the aft accommodation, we've got an absolute killer aft cabin here. We've got an offset double berth. This is the storage. So we've got double locker here with light. Another huge amount of storage as you're going in there. Again, louvered doors. Beautifully finished, all of this. We've got access to bilge and a bit more storage underneath here. We've got a nice mirror. Again, loads and loads of different lighting options. 2 big port lights and a massive double port light here. You've got a radiator underneath this dressing table, which is really nicely done. And you've got blanks in there as well for your port lights. Over to starboard, we've got shelves. So there's masses and masses of storage space in this boat. She is really built to take you a very long way. Here we've got, again, another cedar lined locker, on-off switch on the light with a hanging rail in it. And this awesome aft window gives plenty of light onto your berth here. It's a really, really comfortable cabin. It's en suite, of course, so on the aft port side, we've got the shower forward with a little seat in it, plenty of light coming in, riser rail for the shower. Really nice inset basin again. It's clinically clean. Heads sat on a plinth again. It is electric. We've got a towel radiator, which again is Wi-Fi controlled. Plenty of locker space, and this gives access underneath the floor to your P-bracket bolts that just sit underneath there. So there's really good access to all the areas of the hull underneath these floors. And that's your aft head. So really nice mirrors, loads of light, plenty of storage, plenty of light coming in. It's a fantastic cruising setup. So this is your really nice galley area. Sits facing that dinette area, which is raised. So you get phenomenally nice sight lines out. This is your main helm area, really well protected on this, what they call the command bridge. So you've got incredibly good sight lines right the way around. Electronics all on board, all work. Just to remind you, this is BIASHARA. She's a Trader 42, available through Berthon now. Many thanks for watching.